Hi, my loves. Welcome back to the Starscartel channel. If you don't know, I am Star. So this message is for someone. God made you. God forced you to cut somebody off. And whoever this person is someone that you did not want to cut off. You didn't want to be separated from this person. And it may not even be a situation where you're going to permanently be separated from this person. It may just be a situation where it's temporary. But God is saying that this person was causing traffic. The scripture God sent me to is Matthew 10. Jesus called his 12 disciples to him and gave them authority to drive out impure spirits and to heal every disease and sickness. These are the names of the 12 apostles. First, Simon, who is called Peter, and his brother Andrew. James, son of Zebedee, and his brother John. Philip and Bartholomew. Thomas and Matthew, the tax collector. James, son of Alphaeus and Thaddeus. Simon the Zealot, and Judas Iscariot, who betrayed him. These 12 Jesus sent out with the following instructions. Do not go among the Gentiles or enter any town of the Samaritans. Go rather to the lost sheep of Israel. As you go, proclaim the message. The kingdom of heaven has come near. Heal the sick, raise the dead, cleanse those who have leprosy, drive out demons. Freely you have received, freely give. So here's the message for somebody. God has sent you on a mission. Jesus has sent you on a mission. And in this mission that you have received, like, this is something that this is an important duty for you. So you cannot be in a situation like, okay, so for those of you that have heard about the what do they call, Lord? Van lifers. Okay, people that decide that they want to do van life, when they do a van build, they typically opt to use materials that have a lighter weight. And they use these materials because when you have a bunch of heavy stuff inside of a vehicle, it don't matter what kind of vehicle it is going to slow it down. Now, God is saying that for some of you, some people were acting as if like dead weight. Okay, and it's not to be mean. I'm just saying what it is. And as somebody that used to be a nursing assistant, let me tell you, when, like, it's a difference between somebody that can help you and somebody that just ain't gonna do nothing. And transferring somebody that just ain't gonna do nothing, they are heavier than somebody that could at least help you a little bit. And God is saying that while even if this person was intended to help you, they made the conscious decision to not. They made the conscious decision that they are not going to help you. Regardless if they made the conscious decision as in they just don't want to help because they don't feel like it, or if they have not only decided that they are not going to help you, but they are actively trying to stop you. God said, they would be slowing you down. They would be slowing you down. They would be slowing you down. And God says he cannot have someone slowing you down. Once again, this does not mean that you never gonna be able to spend time. It don't mean you ain't gonna be able to see them again. It don't mean that y'all can't be friends at all no more. It don't mean that you not gonna see them at the family functions. It don't mean that y'all not gonna, you know what I'm saying? Regardless, I don't know who this person is to you, but I just feel like this is for someone you confused. God says they were not putting forth any effort to help. And not only were they not putting forth any effort to help, for some of you, they were trying to get in the way. They were trying to stop you. They were slowing you down. And the mission that God has you on is very important. It's not to say that they're not important. They are important. But God would prefer to separate you from them than for them to be in the midst of God's judgment for what they are doing. Okay, Because, when God sends you on a mission, regardless to whatever kind of mission it is, when God has you on a mission and somebody is actively trying to stop you or getting in the way of you completing your mission, they have actively put themselves in front, on the front line to be in battle with God. And that's a war that nobody is going to win. And God, like, this may not be I'm just feeling that this may not be a bad person. They may not be just an awful person. This could be somebody that, their intention isn't even really to stop you from doing what you're doing. And that's for some of you. Some of you, there are people that were deliberately trying to stop you. And for some of you, there are people, they weren't intending to stop you. They weren't intending to slow you down, but they also were not intending to help. And because they were not intending to help, you would do things that would confuse them. And they would ask you why you are doing it. They may make fun of you for doing it. They may try to make you feel as though you're silly for doing it. They may try to make you feel like, no, let's do this instead. And no, you shouldn't do, we should do this over here. And it's kind of like there are some people that will there are some people that will literally stick their foot out to trip you, and then there are some people, because they stopped and you still going, you end up tripping and falling because they stopped. And I just feel like God is saying that it's two separate kind of people. Okay, you take it how, test the spirit for which one, but God is saying that for some of you, they were stopping you and not on purpose. They were, but they like, it's like they didn't intend to stop you. They weren't trying to hurt you, but they didn't understand what you were doing. And that's just like with the other people, they were stopping you on purpose. And if it's somebody that was stopping you on purpose, God then removed them, and God, 9 out of 10, you're not gonna see them no more. 9 out of 10, that's over, that's finished, that's done. And then there are people that they weren't stopping you on purpose. They didn't intend to stop you. They really did not understand what you were doing. And because they didn't understand what you were doing, and they weren't getting down with the 12, okay, the 2 by 2, they weren't down with. But so it's like God removed them. But you may see them again. That it's a time for everything. But God is saying that there is a reason. There's a reason. It's a reason. It's not a situation where God is just being mean to you. It's not a situation where God is trying to punish you. It's not a situation where God doesn't love you. And, for some of you, as far as the ones that weren't doing this on purpose, it was on accident, they may actually come around. You have to understand that while they were separated from you and you were separated from them, God is using them right now. God may be speaking to them right now. God may be working on them right now. And they may shock you, and one day they see the light. They may shock you, and one day they understand. They may shock you, and one day they are now actively trying to help you. But at the same time, you have to understand that some of them, they really just simply did not understand the mission that God has you on. They just simply didn't understand. And you don't want to fault someone for not understanding. But at the same time, this is why God removed you. Because God will prefer for them to not understand and later on figure it out than for them to not understand and them to actively be blocking you, and actively they're tripping you, and actively they're stopping you and slowing you down, not even understanding what they're doing, and causing God's wrath to be upon them. So God removed you. And there are some people, they were actively stopping. They were actively tripping you. They were actively putting you directly in the line of danger. They did it on purpose. They saw exactly what you were doing. They knew exactly what you were doing. They knew you had good intentions. They knew you were doing nothing wrong. They knew you were doing the will of God, and they did not like it. And they stuck their foot out on purpose and tripped you. It was done on purpose. It was on purpose. And these are people that God removes you from them, and he is dealing with them. He is actively dealing with them. He is actively judging them. They are under the judgment of God. But those, like, you just have to understand that there's a difference. And, like I said, this is for someone you are confused as to why they were removed. You are confused as to why God stopped it. You are confused. For someone, you refuse to do something that God wanted you to do. I didn't even intend to say that at first, but there's someone you were refusing to do what God was instructing you to, and it was because of this person or these persons' influence on you, and because of that, God removed you. God had to fish you out because you were it's like it's something, regardless to if there were other things that you were partaking in that you found more, that was more fun, you found more interest there, or if it was maybe you felt embarrassed, maybe you felt shy, it was for some reason, for somebody, you were refusing to do something that God instructed you to do, and because of that, he removed you, and he separates you, he sets you apart, and that's okay. But I just feel like this message is for someone, you are wondering about this, you are wondering why you were set apart, why you were separated, and God is saying that you could not see it, but there were people that were slowing you down. There were people that were slowing, some of them on purpose and some of them not on purpose. And there are things that God is working on, certain things. He's doing certain things. Don't worry, he's working on it. He is moving. You just carry on doing as God instructed you to, and understand that those that are meant to be there, they will be there. Those that are not, they are not. And it's just it is what it is situation. But some of these people, God is saying they had to be removed because they were stopping you on purpose. They were determined to slow you down. They were determined to stop you. They were determined to stunt your growth. They were determined to keep you small. They saw you and what God was doing in your life, and it made them angry. It made them envious. It made them jealous, and they purposely were trying to stop you and slow you down so that you would not propel the way that God had you propelling. And then there were some people, they had no idea that they were stopping you. They didn't know they were slowing you down. They weren't purposely trying to slow you down. It could even be a situation where they weren't trying to, but they influenced you to do things, or maybe they had ideas and they had plans that seemed more interesting to you, and God pulled you away from that. And like I said, those kind of people are the kind of people where it's not a permanent thing. Those kind of people are the kind of people where God may be working on them. God may be changing them. They may eventually come around. And when they come around, it will be y'all too. And it doesn't specifically mean that it is a spouse. It could be a friend. It could be a family member. But for a lot of you, it could be a spouse. And it, and y'all will go 2 by 2. But at the same time, that's the message for somebody. There are some people that God removed from you, and they were removed because they were deliberately trying to stop you. And then there are some people, they were not deliberately trying to stop you. They weren't deliberately trying to slow you down. It could even just simply be that they were so shiny, okay, and you were distracted, okay? It could simply be they had interesting things going on. They had other things to do, and you wanted to do those things as well. It could be a number of things as far as that goes, as to what they were doing to slow you down. And they weren't doing this intentional. And I have to put an emphasis on that, okay? This was not intentional. There were some people that were intentional. And I'm here to tell you, those people you will not be returning to, and they will not be returning to you. However, those people that were, it wasn't intentional. They weren't trying to stop you on purpose. They weren't trying to slow you down. It may have simply been they did not understand what you were doing, and because they did not understand what you were doing, they kind of got in the way of what you were doing, and it wasn't on purpose. This is something where it wasn't on purpose. This is something where it was a oops, I'm sorry. Okay, this is just like it's a difference between somebody who is a gossip and they deliberately go around maliciously telling people business. They twist and turn people words to make them out to sound bad and awful. And somebody that they are truly concerned, they are truly worried, and they aren't trying to tell somebody business, but they are concerned that they are actually actively trying to get this person some help, or they're actively trying to get this person. And when I say help, I mean, like, if somebody, they can't pay their light bill and they're asking, it's like, oh man, such and such can't pay their light bill, do you think you can help them out? Or such and such said they don't have any food, do you think you got some food that you can help them out with? Or do you think or somebody that just deliberately goes, girl, I heard that the lights is off over there, and I heard they ain't got no way to pay, and I don't know what they gonna do. I'm not worried about what they gonna do. They shouldn't have did this. They shouldn't have did. Like, it's a difference. It's a difference between somebody that's deliberately trying to stop you and somebody that is on accident. And just like with the example I gave, the first person that they really trying to find people to help, or they really trying to, they're concerned, and they may accidentally tell somebody that don't like you, and then now but whatever with that. But I just feel like the biggest thing is God is saying that this is something that, like, the person where it was intentional, that's done. The person where it wasn't intentional, this is something that God is working on them, okay? And that's the message, y'all. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Deuces.